And Cincinnati about to tangle. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. Now Pittsburgh has come into Paul Brown Stadium and won the last 8 matchups here. People are wondering, why would today be any different, Phil?
Well, there's a couple of reasons, Jim. One, the Cincinnati Bengals are just a better football team this year. Draft picks and free agents. And two, I think this rivalry right now, of course, means more to the Bengals because they want to win a game here at home.
Well, they're coming off a big win last week up at Lambeau Field. First time they'd ever won up in that historic site. And this game brought to you in high definition television on CBS. So each team coming in here at 1-1 on the season. And the last coach to beat the Steelers here, Dick LeBeau. He was in charge of the Bengals back earlier in this decade. There's Andre Caldwell waiting for the kick. Cincinnati won the flip and wants the football. So Reed's kick sails only to the 12. Caldwell's got a huge gap. Here he goes past the 40 and all the way to midfield. The last shot at him came from Kewan Ratliff, and Ratliff brings him down after a 39-yard run back. Otherwise, it would have been 6 in a hurry for Cincinnati. So an electrifying start for the Bengals at the Pittsburgh 49. About to snap it for the first play of the game. We welcome those of you who saw Jacksonville go into Houston and beat the Texans today, 31-24. Here we go after a big run back to start it by Andre Caldwell, and a whistle and a procedure penalty.
Start. Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Gene Steratore marking it off against the Bengals, and here was the opening kickoff a moment ago by Caldwell, the run back.
Well, the Andre Caldwell has the speed. You'll see him in the passing game today for the Bengals, but also the energy of the football team, the sense of urgency, the crowd. I think all that played in to the opening kickoff in the favor of the Cincinnati Bengals.
So the Bengals now from their own 46 with Carson Palmer giving it to Cedric Benson, coming off a big 141-yard performance against Green Bay. Palmer healthy now. His left ankle's sprained a little bit. Will receive really treatment all season long, but last year was a lost year. Played only 4 games with a shoulder injury. Missed both games against the Steelers, the former Heisman Trophy winner, 2-time Pro Bowler, who led them back from 14 down last week at Lambeau to victory. It was quite a performance by the Cincinnati bunch, particularly when you factor in how they lost the first week.
The word around here is tough. We're tougher this year, and the first 2 games proved it out.
On 2nd and 14, going back to Benson, who carried it 29 times last week. And he's got 2 quick carries for no yards total. That's a loss of 1. Ferrier was the one who wrapped them up. This Pittsburgh defense, by the way, will be facing a line here with Whitworth, Mathis, Cook, Williams, and Collins up front. Ocho Cinco and Coles, the receivers. Henry, their 3rd receiver. Third and 15. We receive word it's final up in Detroit, and the Lions are finally on the board with a win. Going back to 2007. They defeat the Redskins 19-14. 3rd down 15, and Palmer flings it and almost picked off. That was Ferrier who had a play on it. They were going for Chris Henry.
James Ferrier just dropped back that time. A zone defense, and said, I'm just going to watch the quarterback. We can get to the passer pretty quick, and he sees Carson Palmer and just quick enough to break up the pass.
We'll bring out the rookie punter who has been sensational through 2 weeks, Kevin Huber, homegrown product right out of Cincinnati High School and the University of Cincinnati. Kicking to Logan. And another good one, but it does bound into the end zone. He's out of McNicholas High School here in Cincinnati. So only a net of 34. And he'll put the ball out at the 20 for the Steelers. Here comes Big Ben. He's an Ohio boy out of Findlay. He's never lost as a pro in the Buckeye State, including 5-0 here at Paul Brown Stadium. 5-0 up at Cleveland as well. His line up front, you factor in the last 3 matchups against Cincinnati. This Line for the Bengals has not given up a sack against Cincinnati in the last 3 games. Ward 60 yards away from 10,000 on his career. The man who holds every receiving record in Pittsburgh history. Come out with a 2 tight end set, and they shift Miller over to a wing on the right. We'll begin with Parker getting stacked up. We've got an update, a game that came down to the wire up in Minnesota. What's the story there, James Brown?
Jim, Brett Favre up to his old tricks. Vikings, 12 seconds left in the game, down by 4. Favre under pressure right here. Watch, gets hit as he lets it go. Hooks up with Greg Lewis at the back of the end zone. Both feet down. That second one dotted the I in the field of play. Vikings win it 27-24. Jim Nance and Phil Simms.
How about that? Greg Lewis cut by the New England Patriots in training camp. And the Favre magic, well, people were saying, I'm not sure it's there. It was there today at the end. And they're now 3-0. Heartbreak for the Niners. Second down, pass is incomplete. There is a flag that was intended for Miller.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 86. 10-yard penalty.
Hines Ward is called for that one.
First off, let's look at the blitz. 5 wide receivers, and the Bengals, they bring an extra guy. This is what they like to do against the Steelers. 5 wide receiver set. In the penalty, Hines Ward just goes out and blocks Chris Crocker.
They're
Good
all
call by the officials.
familiar with Hines Ward and trying to block around him. On second down and 20. Back at the 9. Pump fake. Roethlisberger looking for a third option and throws it to Ward, who waited for it at midfield. A 41-yard pass play.
I say blame the defensive line. All they talked about here in Cincinnati. Open down the field, wide open. Good job by Hines Ward. Oh, the defender just falls down. But when your #1 goal coming in the game as a defensive line, we're going to keep him in there and make him throw from behind the center. You let him out on the first pass. That's not good.
Big streak continues for Ward. 165 straight games with a catch. Double whammy and still a catch. What a job holding on. Heath Miller for 4 yards.
This Cincinnati defense, bigger, faster. And what's that mean? They get to the football quicker. What a hit. Jonathan Joseph coming. Always a good combination on the defensive side.
So a second down and 6 from the Cincinnati 45. It's Parker. He's got a gap inside the 40, inside the 30. Willie Parker tightrope down the sideline, and the first time all season he's had any daylight, and they may mark him out way up the field. Did he step out earlier?
Yes, he did. Around the 21-yard line is where they're going to mark him out. Hines Ward gets a tremendous block on this, but the Steelers, talking to him last night, all they talk about, we cannot get big plays. That's the one thing that's bothered them in the first 2 games. They start this game from their own 20. Bad field position, 2 big plays, already down to the Bengal 21.
Season-long run of 24 yards for Parker. Remember last week they opened up with a big 8-minute drive for a touchdown at Chicago. And that's Parker for another 4. They were back at their 9 on this series, and now they're motoring inside the Cincinnati 20. Now on the Parker run, this was the block you talked about that just, did this go on for a while? It's only 10 yards out of bounds between these two. Finally, Mendenhall comes over to separate.
Oh, man. I wouldn't try to get in the middle of it and break that up either.
No.
And if you throw a penalty flag, it would be offsetting, but it would settle him down because you got to be careful not getting kicked out of the game.
Well, Ward's already had 1 call against him. Second down and 6. almost intercepted and then almost caught by Spaeth. Malaluga had a hand on it. He's the rookie you talked about, brings them a lot.
He brings a lot. Again, finds the football. It looks like he's going to go out to the sideline to cover a receiver. Turns back just in time. And as the Bengal coaches talk about him, he just has an athletic feel, a sense, and you can tell that when you watch him play.
A 3rd and 6. Moreeeee Moore comes into the Pittsburgh backfield. Roethlisberger steps over to the left side and zips it to Mike Wallace for a first. It's a good-looking rookie, this receiver out of Ole Miss, drafted in the 3rd round.
Well, here's the word on Mike Wallace. He's fast, he's got it all, and it's time to grow up. That's how the Steelers talk. Nice job. I love the formation. The Steelers, I say it every time, they're the best in the NFL. 3 receivers in a little cluster. Roethlisberger moving out of the pocket, and you got to respect Mike Wallace's speed because everybody talks about how fast he is.
Mike Tomlin telling us a week ago before the Bears game that Wallace, these games, these NFL games as a rookie, they're not too big for him. Kid has a swagger, he says. He makes the first down catch. Timeout on the field.
Hi, I'm Bill Plaschke, the oft-muted voice of reason on Around the Horn, and you're watching ESPN America.
Hand off to Jonathan Stewart, and the black jerseys are all over. Oh, he pulls away.
Off tackle. D'Angelo Williams has a crease, and he runs for a first down. He breaks a tackle, and he may go now.
It's Jonathan Stewart, left side. Stiff arm to the 5. He's in. Touchdown. It's D'Angelo off left tackle. He's in the clear across midfield.
Get out of my way, Rondé Barber. I got somewhere to go.
That was a face plant. D'Angelo Williams dives for the right pylon. He's got it.
NFL on ESPN America.
It's about loyalty. It's about tradition. It's about spirit. It's about giving it all and asking for nothing. This is college football, American football, played from the heart. A new season begins on ESPN America. Catch all the action from conferences across America and find out who has what it takes to reach number 1. Can the Florida Gators defend their national championship? Or will this be the year of the Ohio State Buckeyes, the USC Trojans, Penn State Lions, or the LSU Tigers? The BCS trophy is up for grabs. Who will take it? Watch tomorrow's legends play in games today.
And in trouble, and down he goes.
College football is back at home on ESPN America.
Not allowed an opening drive touchdown in the last 11 games. That's the best streak going in the league. In fact, only once in the last 26 games has someone taken it the first series down the field for a touchdown, and that was Pittsburgh here a year ago. Only one out of the last 26 games, and Pittsburgh threatening to do it again. And first and goal, it's Parker trying to squeeze through a narrow seam and give him 2. So in that last stretch of 26, this is the only time anybody took it right down the field on him. Moreeeee Moore scoring on the pass from Ben, a 10-play 75-yard drive as the Steelers went on to beat them, as they have here 8 consecutive times.
I think the Steelers feel the magic when they come in this stadium, because what did Mike Tomlin say last night? We always make big plays here. Just like, well, that's the history of it. We should make some today. And every time I've been here for this game, the Steelers have made big plays on offense.
And it's a 2nd and goal. Good time for Ben. Throws down to the 1. Miller.
Good job again. Gets out of the pocket just enough. Ben Roethlisberger buys extra time, and he throws to probably one of the most underrated players in the NFL in Heath Miller at tight end. He can do everything. He's a good blocker and a tremendous catcher of the football. But look at oh, what a job Antoine Odom just crushed to the inside, allowed Roethlisberger to move out and find Heath Miller.
Well, last week they threw a touchdown to Matt Spaeth down at the 1. This is a 3rd and goal. Parker. And Parker gets to within half a yard. That's it. It's going to be a 4th and goal. Now, last week they were again in the same situation, went for it, and threw the touchdown pass to the back of the end zone to Spaeth.
Well, last week they tried to go against conventional wisdom. A couple times they threw the touchdown, Jim, and the other time Ben Roethlisberger ran it. Unique formation at time, trying to get the defense guessing, not enough. And quite honestly, I'm surprised they didn't go for it here to get a touchdown.
Well, they're going to give Reed a chance to make the chippy from 19. He, of course, missing the 2 in the 4th quarter last week. Just a rarity for Jeff Reed, who bangs it through the left side. It's good. 19-yard field goal. Steelers come away with only 3, though. Parker stopped inside the 1.
Everything they fought for, sacrificed, and overcame, took them one step closer to the ultimate prize. The 2009 MLB Division Series. Coming soon to ESPN America.
For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise. For the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
We're live in Europe this weekend for the 2009 CompuWare NHL Premiere. With top teams from the NHL in attendance. It's going to be a hockey fest for the Stockholm and Helsinki fans.
What a pass, what a goal! Far side long, one time score!
Hockey is back this weekend with the CompuWare NHL Premiere, only on ESPN America.
Back looking across from Kentucky and past the Ohio River into a packed Paul Brown Stadium. 11-play drive for the Steelers. Roy Williams was one of those in on the collision that stopped Willie Parker on 3rd and goal from just outside the 1. And Reed sending it back down the way to Caldwell, who ran the first one all the way to the Pittsburgh side of the field. They fake the reverse. Caldwell this time finds little room. A 13-yard run back. Lawrence Timmons tackles him there. Palmer and company coming out for the 2nd time.
Tonight on ESPN America.
That's as explosive as I've seen DeMarcus Ware. Wow. And you've seen him explosive before. Ware has come and got him. It's been a marathon for DeMarcus Ware, and he finally got there. Flushed out. Ware chasing. Ware grabbing. Ware sacking. Ware's coming, and Ware's got it. Ware's got it. 3 today. Hit, carried, gobbled up by DeMarcus Ware.
NFL on ESPN America.
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Week 3 sees the Panthers run out for the very first time at the new Cowboy Stadium. The host will be looking for an impressive win against a side struggling to start their season. Live Monday Night Football on ESPN America.
Back in Cincinnati. How about a little philosophy when the Bengals have the football?
Well, let's talk about how this Bengals team has changed from last year to this. Cedric Benson, run to the right. Look at the good blocking up front. Get the defense flowing to their left. And then Cedric Benson's been terrific, reading the blocks, reading the defense, and cutting back. And Jim, he gets the tough yards. So today, it's about getting tough yards, getting 2 and 3 yards on a run. Last week, his first run of the day, it probably would have got 8 yards. Today, it got about 2 because the defense is stronger and faster for the Steelers.
A Pittsburgh defense that has not allowed a 100-yard rusher in the last 20 games. They faked to Benson. Palmer looking downfield. Oh, and he zipped it in there, looking for Lavernius Coles. And that was Ike Taylor who got a hand in it. The
All
middle
over
of it.
The receiver. You're right. You got a hand in there, and he was stuck right to the hip of Lavernius Coles. Reads the route, turns, and if it wasn't just a perfect throw by Carson Palmer, it's going to be a fight for the football. But twice down the field for the Bengals so far, and 2 times the receiver has been well covered.
Good play there by Ike Taylor, 7-year man out of Louisiana Lafayette. 2nd down 10. Straight drop back with a flag. And that is Chad with the catch. But we'll check the flag. Gain 9.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 73 was the widest man on the line of scrimmage. He was also uncovered. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
So wipe out the throw to Ocho Cinco. And Fantasy Football Today brings you the last-minute news and analysis you need to set your fantasy league lineup live. So the Bengals still looking for a little yardage here on offense. Through 5 plays, no yards. Through 6 plays, no yards. Benson stuffed. That's Timmons with the first hit.
Yeah, you just got to hang in there. No one running is tough against this defense. But 2, you heard that last penalty. That's another drive stopper. The first play of the game, they have an illegal procedure. So you can't make up yards against the Steelers defense. And also formations. The Bengals have been running a lot of unbalanced lines. So if you're a player, you must know the rules, when to get up on the line of scrimmage, when to get off.
3rd and long again. 3rd and 15. Lofting it and too high over the head of Lavernius Coles, the former Jet who signed back in May as a free agent. So for the 2nd time, Cincinnati.
Yep.
3 plays and a punt. Their longest play from scrimmage so far, good for 1 yard.
Nothing there for Carson Palmer, and the pressure, obvious passing downs. The Steelers are pushing that pocket fast.
And Kevin Hubert punting for the 2nd time. The first specialist, if you will, be drafted this past year. Taken in the 5th round. Didn't catch all of this one, but gets the generous bounce. And it's down at the Pittsburgh 35. After 46 yards, Roethlisberger ready to lead him again. Johnson to the sideline. Ocho Cinco, no catches so far.
In the 1750s, the old French city of Quebec was invaded by English forces, being forever separated from its mother country of France. 250 years later, the people of this majestic city look to be invaded yet again by another army. The Unicycle Olympics is one of the most picturesque events to take place in the Canadian city as athletics, aesthetics, and a circus-like atmosphere come together. Most people who take part in this event are out to have a great time and build bonds with their fellow unicyclists. But don't be mistaken, these people are elite competitors that only have one goal in mind, a gold medal. And anything less than that is considered failure in the eyes of many. Stay tuned for more amazing games here on ESPN.
The Lions' resurgence will be powered by the right arm of Matthew Stafford. This year's top overall draft pick is a classic drop-back passer with a quick release. The former Georgia standout should make an instant connection with wideout Calvin Johnson.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! That's who you go to. Calvin Johnson!
And serve as the cornerstone for Detroit's rebuilding process.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint, official wireless service sponsor of the NFL, and by Macy's.
MetLife blimp giving us the aerial views over in Covington, Kentucky. Over on the left side, on the near side of, if you will, on this side of the river, Mike Tomlin used to live in a little townhome there when he was a defensive backfield coach at the University of Cincinnati back in 1999 and 2000. Looking across the way at the stadium every day, there's Ward. We're about 6, maybe 7. We've got an update coming your way. Back to James Brown in New York.
All right, Jim and Phil, take a look here. Raiders and Broncos. Jamarcus Russell trying to go deep. Up top, looking for Darius Hayward-Bay, who's double covered. He slips, picked off, and Denver capitalizes on that as Kyle Orton connects with Brandon Marshall for a 2-yard strike. It is now Denver 7, Oakland nothing late in the first. Jim Nance, Phil Simms.
All right, James. Brandon Marshall with his first touchdown catch of the season. The 2nd down and 4. And Parker has the first down. Leans forward. And let's get a little philosophy now when the Steelers have possession.
Well, for the Steelers, last week, if you watched the Bengals play, Antoine Odom just had a field day against the Green Bay Packers. He beat double teams this time. The tight end, the running back, too big, too strong, goes through. And he just threw Aaron Rodgers down like he was a rag doll. But today, in the first drive, Antoine Odom got blocked big time, almost every time in passing situations.
Got an injury timeout on the field. David Johnson of the Steelers getting some attention.
We're live in Europe this weekend for the 2009 CompuWare NHL Premiere. With top teams from the NHL in attendance. It's going to be a hockey fest for the Stockholm and Helsinki fans.
What a pass, what a goal! Far side long, one time,
Hockey is back this weekend with the CompuWare NHL Premiere, only on ESPN America.
Jackets control. Jordan feathering a pass. Malhotra trying to feed Nash. Here's Kachuk, the long shot, and there it is. 500th NHL goal for Keith Kachuk.
Which goal is most memorable to you, your first or your 500th?
I was pretty excited about the 500th one.
The Blues come off the bench to congratulate the American-born Keith Kachuk.
You know, obviously your first one is you'll never forget, but you know, you don't think you'll ever have an opportunity to get a milestone like 500, so they were both pretty special to me.
Hallelujah, 500, big one.
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Week 3 sees the Panthers run out for the very first time at the new Cowboy Stadium. The host will be looking for an impressive win against a side struggling to start their season. Live Monday Night Football on ESPN America.
David Johnson got the start today at fullback, rookie out of Arkansas State, drafted in the 7th round. His own teammate Willie Colon landed on him, so they set down Frank Summers, who had started the fullback last week, so they're without one now. Willie Johnson also can play the role of backup tight end. Here's Roethlisberger flinging it over, and Santonio Holmes drops it. He had a couple of drops last week at Chicago.
Pressure by the defense. Good job by Roethlisberger. It's amazing. Watch this. He can throw, he can fake throw it or pump it, whatever you want to say. He meant to throw the first time, and he just somehow holds on and then still is able to reload and put the football on target.
Well, he does that as much as anyone, doesn't he?
More than anybody.
We're seeing that Mark Sanchez, the rookie of the Jets, does that very
yeah, but he does
Roethlisberger-esque.
He does it with two hands. You teach that.
2nd and 10. And it's Parker. Another big run for Willie, going behind Justin Hartwig and Heath Miller for 13.
Well, what happens here, you've got to play under control. And it's 2nd and long, and everybody's going, I want a piece of the quarterback. And again, so the outside rusher, Odom, way up the field. It leaves a big gap between him and the next defensive lineman. Good call, good job of running, and excellent blocking by the Steelers to get another big run.
Back to the Cincinnati side of the field, and a new set of downs. That's Parker for 5.
Now, when your job is your defense, you're predicating everything today. Keep him in the pocket on the first drive, way out, 3 receivers open to his right, and then a big 3rd down conversion because, again, you let him get outside. When you play defense, it's good to be emotional, but you cannot be out of control. Know where you space the field and know your job. And right now, the Bengals a little too emotional, getting out of position.
Early dominance here by the Steelers, just as it was last week in the first quarter. And Parker, his best running of the season by far, coming here in this opening quarter.
Well, when you talk about last week, we said a little bit of, Jim, about the Steelers. You know, coaches draw plays on the blackboard and they go, this is how we want it to work. They had a lot of those. They executed a lot of plays last week. It was just field position and then didn't have those big scoring plays that you always need. And Bruce Arians, offensive coordinator, said, man, it was hard to believe when the game was over. We didn't even punt in the 4th quarter, and we only scored 14 points.
For the whole game, they got outscored in that quarter. 10 unanswered by the Bears to win it. They brought back in. Arians sends back in Mike Wallace, set up wide to the right on 3rd and a yard. It's Wallace, and the rookie has a second grab, and for the 2nd time picks up a crucial 1st down.
I think it's a nice job to be the 3rd receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Nate Washington was always a factor last year, and that was a nice move. You can see he's fast. He's got some shake, and everybody knows that's the scouting report. The Bengals, out of nowhere, brought up Mike Wallace's name to us when we were hanging around for a couple of days.
He doesn't have those up and down moments like most rookies do. That's what Coach Tomlin told us a week ago. 1st down from the Bengals 27. Fake to Parker. Roethlisberger being chased, able to escape. Got a man wide open, and it's Parker taking it home for the touchdown.
Don't leave your man. What a job by Roethlisberger. Knew he was getting chased from behind, and Ray Malaluga left his man. Trying to go for the touchdown. Initially pretty well covered. Then he sees Robert Gathers. What a move.
Robert Gathers had a play on him, but as you see so often, been able to escape, and it goes for a touchdown.
Again, we just talked about it. Do your job.
And Reed makes it 10-0. Willie Parker, he's been shredding them on the ground, and now he has his first touchdown catch in 3 years.
ESPN America is back on the ice. We've got the very first regular season game. As 2 of the oldest NHL teams take to the ice in Toronto. It's Canadiens Leafs.
Right into the slot, scores!
Then in Colorado, Joe Sakic retires his jersey as the Sharks take on the Avalanche. An NHL doubleheader, Thursday on ESPN America.
For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise. For the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
And that ball is a home run.
Everything they fought for,
Base hit.
sacrificed, and overcame, took them one step closer
Base hit left field.
to the ultimate prize. The 2009 MLB Division Series. Coming soon to ESPN America.
Took advantage of a rookie mistake.
Oh, he sure did. You got to be talented and smart in the NFL. Let's watch Willie Parker. Ray Maluga is going to get him in coverage. Look down the field. Nobody's open, so you're going to give up about a 2-yard run. And watch Maluga come off his guy. Wide open. What a job by Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, I think the word for it is he just kind of lopes along, doesn't he?
He just seems like he got so many people get a hand on him, and he just is able to shrug them off.
Yep.
Like he did the Gathers that time.
Well, it's Jim. He does it so much. Repetition makes you good at things, and you got a lot of reps.
It's Caldwell. He'll take it from the 9. Try to get the edge. Logan, though, has him shut down after a 13-yard return. Tonight on the premiere of The Amazing Race, the Harlem Globetrotters get into the game when the 7-time Emmy-winning series kicks off a whole new season. It's tonight after 60 minutes right here on CBS. All getting started tonight with the Globetrotters, no less. The Hall of Fame group, ambassadors of basketball.
Well, this Bengals offense, they need to stay on the field so the defense can get over there and just get everything back in order, give it some rest, and most of all, change field position.
Back to Benson. Woodley, one of those to clog things up. Cincinnati just can't move it. Final minute of the first quarter. They got off to the big start with the run back to the Pittsburgh 49, and nothing's happened for them ever since. Again, the Steelers without Troy Polamalu this week, and he was the second one out on the field almost 4 hours before kickoff. He was out here, and Marvin Lewis had beaten them to the field. They're the only two out here just having a little chat for quite a while. Polamalu out for maybe a couple of more weeks with that knee injury suffered in the opener against Tennessee. Staying in the game, though, as the second set of eyes for Tyrone Carter, his replacement. And they throw him down. That is Casey Hampton on Palmer.
The sack stopped a big play. They got a receiver. Lavernius Cole's going to get about a 30-yard gain. Casey Hampton's pressure stops it.
The end of one, 10-0 Pittsburgh.
Hi, this is Tony Kornheiser from Pardon the Interruption, and you are watching ESPN America, American for Sports.
PTI. Speed, strength, everything you could want in a wide receiver.
He's so fast that when you run the play action, before you can react to it not being a run, Andre Johnson's already about 10 to 12 yards down the field. Feed the horse, because that's him.
Quick throw, left side. Caught! Touchdown, Andre Johnson. He comes down with it somehow, some way.
NFL on ESPN America.
No $1 million contracts.
Big catch! Touchdown, Notre Dame!
No trade deadlines.
Williams with a ton of time in firing. Caught! Touchdown!
No holding out.
And in trouble, and down he goes.
This is American football. played from the heart. College football is back and at home on ESPN America. Step onto the gridiron and see the dedication. Feel the excitement and witness the tradition with another season of heart-pounding action. Follow your favorite teams as they battle their way across the nation to take claim of that #1 ranking. Show your spirit all season long. College football is back and at home on ESPN America.
We start the second quarter. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. 3rd and 20 for the Bengals, who did not have a first down in that opening quarter, dominated by Pittsburgh. Palmer almost intercepted. That was Ryan Clark diving for it. So 8 straight plays by the Bengals for no or negative yardage.
Well, what happens here? Good fake blitz by the Steelers. They're all, you know, they're so fast on defense, even with Troy Polamalu out there and Carson Palmer looking down the middle. Look how many defenders are breaking towards the ball. When they play zone, you must look it off.
Huber right on the goal line. This one much better. Logan backpedals with the fair catch. But another good starting point for Pittsburgh that's had it twice. Had a field goal and a touchdown on his 2 possessions. Thursday on CBS, when the homeowners moved out, crime moved in. It's an all-new episode of CSI. Thursday on America's #1 network.
Well, I guess all this emotion, and you know, we got caught up in it too. I thought this is going to be extremely tough for the Steelers very early in the game, but so much always said about the Steelers offensive line. Almost all of it's always negative. They played, I thought, had some good moments in the first game of the year, and overall they were borderline outstanding last week against the Chicago Bears.
And they have been today. Roethlisberger going for the killer ball, and it's caught in stride. That's Wallace, who went out of bounds at the 10. Mike Wallace for 51 yards.
Boy, was that, look at the protection. Ben Roethlisberger. Now you're going to throw it high and far. Love the throw. Gets the rock into it. Look how high he throws it. Jonathan Joseph top. He finds out in person. Yes, they tell him all week, hey, this Mike Wallace is fast. In person, he's even faster. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch.
Longest play of this young season for the Steelers.
Field position in big plays. What a difference.
3rd catch already for Wallace. 1st and goal. Parker keeps the feet driving. Took a play that looked like it was going nowhere. Was able to get 4 yards closer to the end zone.
You know, Mike Tomlin always says when he's talking about 20 there, look at that today. 4 already. Mike Tomlin has a word. He's got such a language to talk about football, Jim. Splash plays. I need some splash plays, and very confident they were going to get them today. And confident that Mike Wallace is going to be part of them.
Well, he certainly has been. 3 catches for 65 yards for Wallace. He helped set up the first 2 scores and trying to for a 3rd time as Miller makes the catch, bounces off 1 tackle, Tank Johnson, and then it's only a yard. So 3rd and goal from the 5 on the way.
Well, too, you're in a game like this, and it's, if you stop them here, you're going to go, wow, okay, everything has gone wrong, and we're only going to be down 13-0. But you really have to think as a player that's down, just do your job and use the techniques that you've worked on thousands of times. Don't overplay the situation.
They stack the left side. Cincinnati doesn't look like it has the numbers over there. to protect. Roethlisberger looks right, now goes back to the end zone, too high for Miller. And they'll bring back Jeff Reed.
Boy, really good job. Nice call by the Bengals. Couldn't see who the coverage was, but it was a double move. When the blitz, they think you're going to throw it quick. It's the top of the screen. Oh boy, they had some guys open. But Roethlisberger went for the slant and go by Hines Ward. They covered it there. Nobody covered Heath Miller on the other side.
24-yarder coming up. He missed one from 38, one from 43 last week, and said after the game, you can have 10 great games in a row, said Jeff Reed, and still not get over those 2 kicks. He's 2 for 2 today. A 19-yarder and a 24-yarder. It's 13-0, and it could be even larger than that.
We're live in Europe this weekend for the 2009 CompuWare NHL Premier. With top teams from the NHL in attendance. It's going to be a hockey fest for the Stockholm and Helsinki fans.
What a pass, what a goal! Far side long, one time score!
Hockey is back this weekend with the CompuWare NHL Premier, only on ESPN America.
David Amber, joined by Sharks defenseman Dan Boyle. Dan, when you kind of look at the big picture of playing defense, is it more exciting to score a goal, or is it more exciting to shut down the other team's top player?
Anybody who says shutting down another team's top player is lying, so it's all about scoring goals, man.
Here is Boyle with a drive, score!
One goal in particular stand out in your career so far?
The first one's great. For me, it was against the Flyers, a team I actually grew up cheering for, and the first one's always the most special one.
Dan, for you personally, what do you remember most about that Stanley Cup run?
Just obviously the second you get a hold, when the buzzer goes off, and then the second you kind of get to hold it, great memories.
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Week 3 sees the Panthers run out for the very first time at the new Cowboy Stadium. The hosts will be looking for an impressive win against a side struggling to start their season. Live Monday Night Football on ESPN America.
First downs. Pittsburgh 3 possessions, 3 scores. And I mentioned going to break, it could be worse. They've been shut down twice inside the 10.
Well, it really could be. If you're the Bengals right now, you go, all right, hold it. We weathered some storm, and we're only down 13-0. Because in the NFL, and with Jim, we've done so many games together, hard to dominate for 60 minutes.
Now Caldwell, oh man, as he walloped. And there is a flag as Kieran Fox just pummeled him.
3-4 teams, extra linebackers, more speed on special teams. You see it with the Steelers.
During the return, holding, return team, number 88, half the distance to the goal.
It only gets worse for the Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Watch Fox come in on him.
Well, Kieran Fox wants some playing time.
They need something to go their way here, Phil. Nothing so far.
Yeah, nothing so far. I think what's happened, well, listen, the Bengals, without question, you could sense the emotion. And, you can never let it get the best of you. So they got out of position, I think, on both sides of the football. And it's one of the reasons why they're down. And the Steelers are just fast, and they're physical right now.
Here's Palmer over to Ochocinco. Near a first. So he's going to be marked about a half-yard short. William Gay brought him down. But that's the first positive moment for the offense.
We get the jeers. What's the word for it? It's not a cheer. It's like, all right, it's about time. Ochocinco.
First play of the game for the Bengals that was longer than 1 yard. And they're a yard away from a first. And they have their first. They go to Ochocinco 2 times in a row to bring a little personality to this offense.
Well, he can do it, and I'll tell you what he brings more than anything. He just brings energy. He is in shape. He is healthy. And, oh, my gosh, is he fast on the field.
You told me this summer before the season started, you said, watch out for him. He's going to have a big comeback year after last season really being harnessed by a shoulder injury. And, of course, Palmer being out for 12 games.
Well, that's right. His quarterback is back. And Jim, I don't know, he's got like ankles that just can bend anywhere, so he can run full speed and make breaks.
And that's Benson. Give him a couple. Nothing so far for Benson to run through.
I think the big thing about Chad Ochocinco is he bought into it this year. So many Bengal players embarrassed about the way their season went last year. So the core group was here all offseason. They got in shape. That it helps the chemistry of I guess you could say, of the football team, and he's a big part of that.
He got something out of his eye. He'll sit out the second down snap. Second down and 8. And Benson, that's his biggest gallop of the day, and they're going to be facing 3rd and 1. It was a gain of 7. Cedric Benson signed about a year ago this week after being let go by the Bears.
Well, look at this across the front. Can't tell all the numbers. It looks like they've come with an unbalanced line, and what they do, they bring in number 74, Dennis Rowland, and they get 6 big offensive linemen in there, and it works. It works pretty well for the Bengals. They've really had some nice runs out of it the first 2 weeks.
3rd and a yard. The long yard. They go with Jeremy Johnson, and the fullback squeezes out 2 for the first down. Actually, it was gain of a couple. Jeremy Johnson, who was their starting fullback from 2003 through 07, then was cut. He got himself back in the shape and said, hey guys, I want back in. He's back as their first teamer. So a second first down on this series, and finally the Bengals get a little something going.
Unbalanced again.
Take the reverse with Coles. They go middle with Benson. You met with Benson this week. Changed his diet, changed his attitude, really in many ways changed the attitude of this team.
He changed it while he was in Chicago. Then he got in trouble, and they said, that's it. So they let him go. He goes home, waits a few weeks. They bring him in, and you've heard it. You heard it from Marvin Lewis, Jim. They're just saying, wow, what a find. The 4th pick of the draft, yeah, he was worthy of that. That's the talent we're seeing. And he's in tremendous shape, understands the running game of the Bengals, and thinks it really fits his style of running.
It's a 2nd down and 8. Had some charges pressed against him. They were later dropped, and that throw is over the head of Ochocinco.
Sorry, it's kind of hard sometimes to say Ochocinco.
He's still getting used. It's the first time we've had to go through the process, you know.
It is. But that time, Steelers, and it's not a cliche. Blitzing is about surprise and timing. And that's why when you play the Steelers, if you're the quarterback, you better be ready to change that snap count and move it around your cadence, because if they start guessing with you, you're not going to block them.
It's a 3rd down and 8. Here they come. They seal the pocket. The pass caught. And it's Ochocinco.
What a throw.
21 yards.
And everybody always says, oh, arm strength's not that important in the NFL. Well, you're watching a different game than I watch, because look at the coverage by Ike Taylor. Right on his hip. His arm is in front, and Carson Palmer, he throws it right down the middle of the plate. And Chad Johnson, that was a good job of just getting extra yards. Again, you can see how quick, fast, and you're, of course, going to be a better wide receiver than Carson Palmer as your quarterback.
On the Pittsburgh side of the field for the first time. And Benson brought down by William Gay, and that's a big chunk of 7. Benson seeing some running lanes for the first time. Carson Palmer telling us you can tell the guys love blocking for Benson. They appreciate he tries to run over people.
Look at the blocking. Everybody's getting pushed. Oh, nice job. Hugging the block and then seeing the defender out of the corner of his eye and getting another 3 or 4 yards. offensive linemen, Jim, you're right. They love physical, tough runners. Makes them look good.
The second down and 3. Benson's got the first. There is a flag. It's going to be against Cincinnati, it looks like.
I see Bobby Williams waving it away.
Holding, offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
One thing they had to overcome last week, not only 14 down against Green Bay at Lambeau, but they also had to overcome 13 penalties for 100 yards. And another mistake right here.
Yeah, against good teams. They just dominated Green Bay last week. It was surprising when I watched it how physical the Bengals were and just won the battle on both sides. But the offensive line been a little surprise for the Bengals this year. I think so far, I think it all kind of coincides. The running back, the quarterback are back, helps an offensive line out, and they're working hard.
And second down 13. And not in the area of Ocho Cinco.
That slipped out of the hand of Carson Palmer.
Andre Caldwell was over there too, Phil. He was open on that right side.
Yeah, the rush, they are pushing the pocket. They're doing what the Bengals want to do against Ben Roethlisberger, but Carson Palmer trying to unload a little fast. You could see his arm didn't quite catch up to the body, so the football usually goes high and away from the target when that happens.
Dennis Rowland has moved to right tackle, replacing Anthony Collins for the Bengals. We have it 3rd and 13. Palmer's pass behind Caldwell, and they'll be forced to punt. They're getting a little restless here in Cincinnati. Again, there was so much energy in the city coming off the Green Bay win.
Well, they got the play. They call the right play. They get the defense exactly what they were expecting, but the timing of the hookup and the throw by Carson Palmer off target, but still a good drive by the Bengals.
Yeah, they changed field position for sure. Remember, they had been flagged for infraction on the kickoff, so they were back deep in their own territory. Here's Hubert, who is tops in the NFL through the first 2 weeks. Punts inside the 20. He's got another one here. Fair catch by Logan after a 30-yard boot. Parker has the game's only touchdown, and it's Pittsburgh 13-0.
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Week 3 sees the Panthers run out for the very first time at the new Cowboy Stadium. The host will be looking for an impressive win against a side struggling to start their season. Live Monday Night Football on ESPN America.
Melky Cabrera of the New York Yankees.
He's hitting a lot of line drives. Some of his line drives go out of the ballpark.
It is gone! Oh, what a shot! The Milkman delivers.
He's been aggressive. He's played extremely hard, and we're very happy with what we're getting from him.
Game-tying single for Melky Cabrera for Naked Magic.
Line drive left center field. The game is going to be over. Melky Cabrera with the game winner.
Melky Cabrera has won this game on a single to right center field. Another walk-off for Melky. What a year he is having.
We're live in Europe this weekend for the 2009 CompuWare NHL Premiere. With top teams from the NHL in attendance. It's going to be a hockey fest for the Stockholm and Helsinki fans.
What a pass, what a goal!
Far side long, one time score!
Hockey is back this weekend with the CompuWare NHL Premiere, only on ESPN America.
A quarterback that just can make something out of nothing, and then the speed of Mike Wallace. Boy, all offenses, I think it's always important to have that one receiver who is just, you got to look out for because of his speed or his whatever he does. It's really special. Steelers might have found something in Mike Wallace.
Yes, indeed. Again, 3 catches, 1 catch on each of their scoring drives, including their longest play of the season. Went for 51 yards. That's Parker. He's got 7. Tomorrow on CBS, Charlie Sheen and Emmy winner John Cryer star in a new episode of TV's #1 comedy, 2.5 Men. It's tomorrow only on CBS. Well, Willie Parker stagnant the first 2 games. He's got 91 total yards, including a reception for a touchdown, 64 on the ground.
Steelers had 6 offensive linemen in on that last play. Foster, number 73, came in.
Parker picks up the first. He's got more yards rushing now in the first half of this game than he had the first 2 games. He had 66 on the season before today.
Well, running backs, Jim, they're a lot like quarterbacks, and you know, when you look at numbers, you got to get teams that match up for you. And today, running against the Chicago Bears last week, they crowd the line of scrimmage. Tennessee Titans, they're almost impossible to run against like the Steelers, but today's his chance, and he's taking advantage of it.
On first down, quick toss. Spaeth out across the 30 to the 32. Well, Ben Roethlisberger not only hasn't lost at Cincinnati, hasn't lost at Cleveland either. As a member of the Steelers, he's knocking on wood last night on the table when we were talking to him about that record back here in his home state out of Findlay, Ohio, a place where he took his offensive lineman last year. They had a weekend free, and to celebrate Justin Hartwig's birthday, he chartered a plane, took him to Chicago for a few days to celebrate his 30th, Hartwig's 30th. They stopped over in Findlay, picked up some ribs from Tony, 2 racks for everyone. And nothing that time for Parker. But he's had, you know what's amazing when you look at this in his career is the fact that he was 10-2 as a starter, because he didn't start his junior year in high school. He was a wide receiver.
Coach's decision.
Yeah, well, the coach's son was the quarterback Ben's junior year, so he was a
I've asked him about that. You know, he didn't even make a facial expression. He goes, no, it helped me. I really learned a lot. It did me a lot of good to be a receiver in high school. And so
he had no problem with it.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well, I would say.
Didn't bother him a bit. 3rd and short. In the pocket, Miller has the first. He keeps hitting Miller with these little short throws. That one for 4. That's all he needed. Miller with 4 catches for 15 yards.
You know, I just don't know why more teams don't copy the Steelers. It's got to be part of what you do, but they just bunch receivers together, and it makes the defense go and retreat. It's 3rd and, you know, it's 3rd, 4, 5, or 6. They get in those with formations. You backpedal. Ben Roethlisberger gets a little opening, sticks it in there to the tight end.
On first down from the 37, Parker looked like he might be tackled for a loss. He showed that little extra burst to pick up 3.
Well, really, no matter what happens on this drive, but what a dominating first half by this Steelers offense. Antoine Odom, what can he do? Chases it down the line. Well, that's a good job of hustling. Antoine Odom, 250 pounds last year, 280 now. You can see it. You meet him, you can say, wow, this guy would be hard to block. But you heard it, Jim said he felt like he didn't earn the money. Got hurt. He's come back, and he's been a force the first 2 games.
There's a throw over to Limas Swede, his first catch of the season, and he is hammered quickly by Joseph.
How about that? You don't hear that a lot from any athlete. When they're talking about Antoine Odom, just really embarrassed, didn't earn the money.
It was refreshing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was kind of cool.
Just, hey, I felt like I was stealing money. Went from 250 to 280, and there's his little son Memphis, born on Friday.
5th child.
And Memphis recognized today, right there on the wrist. Timeout, 2-minute warning.
Tonight on ESPN America.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Did that get out of here in a hurry?
2 hops to Lewis. Here comes the throw home. It's there waiting. The tackle is out.
Lewis coming in. Lewis is going to dive and make the catch. Watch Freddie Lewis go. That's called triples alley, folks.
Lewis with his speed will get to third easily.
He's exciting.
Everything they fought for.
Base hit.
Sacrificed. And overcame. Took them one step closer.
Base hit left field.
To the ultimate prize. The 2009 MLB Division Series. Coming soon to ESPN America.
And Larry Fitzgerald stretched out in Jacksonville.
Nice for the pylon touchdown.
To see more beyond the still, go to NFL.com/.
Coming up on the Sprint halftime report, JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer, Coach Coward, all the scores and highlights, the recaps of the early games. It's all coming up in the Sprint halftime report. 3rd and 2 coming out of the 2-minute warning, with Pittsburgh leading it 13-0. Got the first down, and that is Hines Ward. And he might have his 10,000-yard career. He needed 60 coming in. That gives him 10,001 yards. First Steeler ever. He's got all the Steeler receiving marks. You talk about the history, too. Pretty impressive. Back to him, and it's to his hands. He was jarred by Crocker. Well, you think of the Lynn Swans, John Stallworths, Lewis Lips, some of the decorated receivers. Here's the one that gives Hines Ward, and it came on 3rd down, over 10,000 yards on the career. Hall of Fame numbers for the former Super Bowl MVP. 2nd down from the 41. It's Moore, and Johnson brings him down. Brandon Johnson. And the timeout called by the Steelers. They're left with 1:20 to go in the half, trying to add to a 13-0 lead.
In 2008, Saints quarterback Drew Brees came within 15 yards of the all-time NFL single-season passing yardage record. Brees now stands with Dan Marino as the only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history to throw for more than 5,000 yards in a season. Brees thrived in Coach Sean Payton's wide-open offense. The Saints QB connected with 11 different receivers for a total of 34 touchdowns, tops in the NFL.
Are white and the Buckeyes are fierce. It's where the Seminoles face the Hurricane and the Yellow Jackets swarm the Terps. It's where the Irish fight and the Trojans charge. It's where the Longhorns battle the Aggies and the Eagles face off with the Hokies. It's where the Gators rule the jungle. This is college football, and it's back and at home on ESPN America.
Got his man. Touchdown.
It's where spirit counts the most and rivalries never die. It's about tradition and pride. It's about today and tomorrow. It's American football played from the heart. Catch all the action all season long and witness the glory. Watch tomorrow's legends play in games today. College football is back and at home on ESPN America.
With receiving yards, most receiving yards playing for only one team, led by Marvin Harrison. And Ward now the 5th to crack 10,000 with one team. All right, 3rd down coming up for the Steelers with 1:20 to go in the half. Need to get to the 31 for the first. Roethlisberger to Holmes. Did he get the feet down? No, they say.
Second foot didn't get down.
He's ruled out. Leon Hall was on the coverage.
Nice throw. Really good throw by Ben Roethlisberger. Everybody has got tight coverage, so he throws it back shoulder perfect.
Yep. Definitely only one in.
Did that foot? Let's watch it again. Does it bounce as he catches the ball? Watch the foot. Nope, it didn't.
They've got 258 yards, the Steelers, in this first half. No yards for Holmes. No catches. He had a drop early. They're going for it on 4th down. 4th and 4. And now a timeout called by the Steelers.
The next amazing game is something to behold. Vierlepen, or canal jumping, consists of an intense sprint to the pole, jumping and grabbing it, then climbing to the top while trying to control the pole's forward and lateral movements, and finishing with a graceful landing on a sandbed. Canal jumping is not only a sport, it was a form of transportation for farmers in the province of Friesland, as they used poles to quickly jump over drainage channels to access different plots of land. Nowadays, this is one of the most popular sports around. Each participant is granted 2 jumps, with the top 5 in each category moving on to the next round. In the end, there are winners awarded in every category, as well as an overall winner for the day. Stay tuned for more amazing games here on ESPN.
We're live in Europe this weekend for the 2009 CompuWare NHL Premier. With top teams from the NHL in attendance. It's going to be a hockey fest for the Stockholm and Helsinki fans.
What a pass, what a goal! Far side long, one time score!
Hockey is back this weekend with the CompuWare NHL Premier, only on ESPN America.
By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And by KFC. Now get the great taste of new Kentucky grilled chicken on the KFC Ultimate Value Menu.
Coming up, the Sprint halftime report with JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. Coach Cowher with all the scores, the highlights. It's coming up just a few minutes away here. They stay out there with the offensive unit on 4th and 4. Now we've seen Roethlisberger, who's in shotgun. He has punted before in his career. Twice, in fact. Maybe he'll take the snap, drop back, and boot it down there.
Too close to the center to punt it.
Yep. Gonna throw for it. And avoids the sack. And there's a flag. Still got it away.
That's how you want to rush the quarterback. They compressed the pocket from outside and slowly condensed it.
Holding. Offense number 78. Penalty is declined. First down, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, you know, with them going for it, they have a chance to do a little something here with a full allotment of timeouts.
Antoine Odom makes him step up, and once you step up and everybody else is in position, Jim, it's just so hard, even for a quarterback of Roethlisberger's size, to see and now clearly make that decision to throw the football. Excellent. Best pass rush of the day by the Bengals defensive line.
Yeah, that was Jonathan Fanene was in there too. As you see, Antoine Odom with 7 sacks in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Well, he caused it.
So again, 3 timeouts for the Bengals, and they operate from the 35. Chris Henry's come onto the field, and there he is making the catch at the Pittsburgh 46. 19 yards to Chris Henry.
Once he gets healthy, Chris Henry, Chad Ochocinco, Andre.
Timeout.
Very good receiving.
Yeah, I'm telling you, strong. Got Clark shaken up.
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Week 3 sees the Panthers run out for the very first time at the new Cowboy Stadium. The host will be looking for an impressive win against a side struggling to start their season. Live Monday Night Football on ESPN America.
And a little blooper. There's a fly ball deep to left. Ortiz into deep right field.
One strike. Timeout at the 46 and a first down. Open receiver is Daniel Coates, their tight end. They'll hurry to the line after a gain of 8. Ryan Clark is back out after missing a snap. There he is, dropping back to the 23-yard line, backpedaling. Short throw, Caldwell, first down. Here comes their second timeout. Well, they have 1 remaining. Tomorrow, CSI Miami gets a new agent, and his first day on the job is going to be a real killer. It's an all-new CSI Miami tomorrow on America's most watched network, CBS.
Opportunities. The Steelers, they created opportunities in the first half. They're leading 13-0. But when you think about it, that's the best the Bengals could have hoped for. It's just to be down 13-0. And now the Bengals make a good fourth down stand. They got a chance to close the gap here before halftime. You got to go in the locker room. If you score points here, man, you're excited if you're a Bengal player.
A team that lost its first 8 games last year, then caught fire late, won its last 3, and 1-1 coming into this one. Palmer's pass deflected and knocked down. Palmer jumped in there to make sure it fell to the ground. It was tipped by Brett Kiesel, and a flag falls.
Oh, it's going to be holding
against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 26, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Called on Joe Burnett.
Holding almost always takes place before the football is thrown. Pass interference would have been waved off because the pass was deflected.
29 seconds to go.
The Bengals are expecting blitz.
Cincinnati's first threat. They pick up the blitz. It's Caldwell. And he is shoved to the 15. Palmer wants to spike it. Gain of 11.
They got to hurry so you can get 2 timeouts. Why is the tight end switch sides?
Coates moving over there. Cost him an extra 3-4 seconds. No spike. Going to the end zone. And incomplete. 7 seconds now. Do you risk it? 1 throw to the end zone or go ahead and kick it? That's a risky business.
Well, you got a veteran quarterback. I just hated that. The situation there. Spike the football. Guarantee yourself, you know, getting 2 plays. Now you got a timeout on the board. You got a veteran quarterback though, Jim, so you got to trust him in situations like this. We got a lecture last night, didn't we, from Mike Tomlin. The NFL is all about situational football. That was a big situation not handled well by the Bengals.
Better be careful. Better not come up empty. Better not see the clock run out. They even go play action with it. This pass goes incomplete. And they're probably fortunate it did fall to the ground. Not sure they could have caught it, fallen to the ground, and called timeout in time.
That's right. If it had been caught, it probably would have run out.
Going to have a chance to try a field goal. He was looking for Brian Leonard. And James Harrison is the one who got a hand on it. It'll be a 34-yard kick by Shane Graham. They pinned the franchise tag on him during the offseason. Very accurate man, 4th all time. Close out the half. Bengals are on the board. And they're lucky.
And the fans cheer. How about that?
Haven't had many reasons to do that today so far. Huber on the hold. Graham drives it through.
Be excited if you're Bengals.
Into the first half, Pittsburgh 13, Cincinnati 3. Sprint halftime report coming up, and you're watching the NFL on CBS.
Everything they fought for, sacrificed, and overcame, took them one step closer to the ultimate prize. The 2009 MLB Division Series. Coming soon to ESPN America.
For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise, for the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
Weather might be the reason Chicago's called the Windy City. Or it might be because Brian Urlacher knocks the wind out of so many opponents. In the cover 2, he defends more passes deeper down the field than any other linebacker. And it's impossible to sneak anything by Urlacher and a swarming Bears defense which led the NFC in takeaways.
Sprint, only on the Now Network.
And welcome back to the Sprint Halftime Report. I'm James Brown with scores from the early games in Week 3. It was the Baltimore Ravens' second most prolific scoring team in the league behind the New Orleans Saints, moving to 3-0 as they spanked the Cleveland Browns 34-3. Jacksonville with a huge ground game by pocket Hercules Maurice Jones-Drew. He had 119 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. They beat Houston, that is, by 7. 31-24 is the final there. The New York Jets. Boy, Rex Ryan's defense getting it done, forcing 4 turnovers and 2 sacks. Mark Sanchez, first rookie quarterback to start 3-0 from the start of the season. Since the merger, they beat the Tennessee Titans, who fall to 0-3. The New England Patriots got a good ground game, 168 rushing yards for the team, 105 of them from Fred Taylor. Beat the Falcons by 16. Philadelphia by 20 over Kansas City. Kevin Cobb, in 2 games now at the quarterback spot, has thrown for 718 passing yards. Michael Vick was in 11 plays there. The New York Giants blanked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Boy, the Giants are looking good. The Bucs now 7 straight losses. The Washington Redskins fall to the Detroit Lions. Lions, first win since December 23rd, 07. That's a 19-game losing streak that is snapped. Detroit in the W column. Minnesota adding to the legend of Brett Favre, who tosses a touchdown strike of 32 yards to Greg Lewis with 2 seconds left. Minnesota wins it. And the Green Bay Packers beat the Rams. Rams now have the longest losing streak in the league at 13. Coming up, all the highlights when the Sprint Halftime Report continues on CBS.
Welcome to the beautiful city of Minsk. Not only is it the capital of the Republic of Belarus, but also the sport of motorball. At first glance, it appears to resemble some type of post-apocalyptic version of football, But the finesse of riders and the sheer power of the bikes makes this sport unique. The intensity is unlike any other sport as both teams battle incessantly in order to gain the possession of the ball by either outmaneuvering or outmuscling an opponent. The ultimate goal is to conquer the other team's net. Obviously, motorball has its certain risk involved, but they can never overshadow these moments of glory. Just like every other sport played, to the winner goes the spoils. Stay tuned for more amazing games right here on ESPN.
Forced 2 turnovers in this 2-yard touchdown pass. Kyle Lorton, Brandon Marshall, 13-3 at the half Broncos.
To open the game, Miami goes 17 plays, 95 yards, and then they fumble to exchange. San Diego gets the touchback in this game. A lot of offense and not a lot of scoring.
All right, Drew Brees is 10 of 17, 114 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. How about this? Brian Moorman fake field goal to Ryan Denny. 10-7 at halftime. Buffalo trails the New Orleans Saints.
And when you face a blitz, what's the best play to call? A little screen pass. That's what they get here. Seneca Walls. It's Julius Jones. He tight ropes the sideline, stays inside. Touchdown. Cutler gets a touchdown. 13-7 Seattle right now at the half.
JB, I thought I'd never read numbers like this from the Baltimore Ravens offense. 479 total yards, 342 through the air from Joe Flacco. And this 72-yard catch by Derek Mason as they roll. Oh, Cleveland, they get paid too. Not very much. Obviously not enough.
Hey, Maurice Jones-Drew, big day, 23 attempts, 119 yards, and 3 touchdowns as Jacksonville wins their first game.
How about the Jets? They go to 3-0. Mark Sanchez, 17 of 30, 171 yards, and 2 TDs. Jets are rolling.
And Tom Brady throws his 200 career touchdown pass. This one on a toss to Chris Baker for 36 yards. And Fred Taylor has 105 yards rushing. And New England got untracked in the second half, beats Atlanta 26-10.
Old man Fred can still do it.
And Michael Vick got to play today. 11 plays. He throws 2 passes. This one, he throws it away. Yeah, just throw it out of bounds. Kevin Cobb, big day, 24 for 34, 327 yards, and 2 touchdowns. DeJean Jackson goes for this touch, and our Kevin Harlan talks to Michael Vick.
Where would today rank on your timeline of big moments in your life?
It's by far the top, probably top 3. You know, to have a chance to come back and be a part of the Philadelphia Eagles, playing the NFL again, it's probably top 3, you know, probably next to the day I got drafted.
Well, Eli Manning throws 2 touchdowns. Giants run for 226 yards on the ground, and they hold the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to 86 total yards.
Man.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
86.
Giants go to 3-0.
JB, in 1986, I saw Haley's comment, but Detroit realized I do not have 77 years to wait until they won a ball game, so they won today, 19-14 over the Redskins.
And those wonder why Minnesota went out and got Brett Favre. This is why they did.
Gunslinger.
42nd, come from behind victory. Last second, throws it to the back of the end zone. Greg Lewis gets both toes down. Minnesota beats San Francisco 27-24.
Wow. Okay, Aaron Rodgers was 13 for 23, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and this rushing touchdown as Green Bay goes to 2-1.
All right, folks, and we thank you for watching the Sprint Halftime
Did you
Report.
really
We'll
see
see you
Haley's
back
comment?
out
I did,
for the
1986.
second half of your game as Shannon tries to convince Bill that he did see Haley's comment right after this.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
We're live in Europe this weekend for the 2009 CompuWare NHL Premiere. With top teams from the NHL in attendance. It's going to be a hockey fest for the Stockholm and Helsinki fans.
What a pass, what a goal!